И очень красиво. Бум, да. Первый
2002 Olympic medalist Ilya Averbukh is confident that Russian figure skaters will continue to win at Junior Grand Prix events. At the first stage of the series in Xi'an, the Russians won 4 gold medals out of 4. The performance in China was extremely impressive. Our athletes demonstrated their level there. Both the federation and the people working for the benefit of Russian figure skating deserve a lot of credit for this. We remained combat ready. Russian junior sport has always been at a high level. I have no doubt that our guys will crush everyone at future Grand Prix events, Averbukh said. So far, only paraskaters Sheshaliva and Karnakov remain unrivaled. For gold medals out of 4 possible at the start of the Junior Grand Prix series in China is a great source of pride, but not a reason for euphoria. Not all of the world's leading skaters have gathered in Xi'an. We compare the winners' performances with global benchmarks and the results of the Russian national season, assessing the true strength of the skaters against the global elite. Joy without illusions. The start of the 2026/2027 International Junior Grand Prix Series in Xi'an, China, ended with a 100% triumph for Russian athletes, who won gold medals in all 4 disciplines. For the Russian figure skating school, this result was long-awaited confirmation of the top-notch training of its athletes. However, the competitive process requires composure and objectivity. The field of competitors at the Chinese stage was truncated, and spectators saw virtually no event where the world's strongest juniors were present. This doesn't diminish the skill of the winners, who executed the most difficult programs flawlessly, but it does caution against over-optimism. Competitions ahead offer a fundamentally different level of competition, where competing against the foreign elite will require flawless performances, and any mistake could cost them a gold medal. An analysis of the rankings allows us to relatively objectively determine the current status of Russian juniors in each category. Love at the top. The transition of last season's leaders, world champion Ryo Nakata and vice champion Minkyu So, to the senior category and their participation in Grand Prix events has radically changed the balance of power. In the updated junior hierarchy, Lev Lazarev is clearly emerging as the #1 favorite. The athlete's winning total in Xi'an, 250.21 points, is backed by an impressive domestic record, 280.31 points. The Russian leader's biggest test awaits at the Bangkok event, where he will face off against Japan's Taiga Nishino. Meanwhile, Arseniy Fedotov, who has demonstrated exceptionally difficult content and a record-breaking 274.77 points domestically, retains the potential to compete for the top step of any international podium. When the national team coaches give him a chance, Arseniy must prove his worth. For now, the bet is on Lazarev. Zepka will be tested by other Russian athletes. Following the transition of Mao Shimada, the leader of the last 4 years, to senior sport, the women's junior category is undergoing a restructuring. Sofia Zepka's current top spot should be considered provisional for now. As of the end of August, she secured the lead thanks to a flawless performance in China and a solid 213.28 points. In Xi'an, her lead over second-place Chinese Lu Yuxuan was almost 24 points, 213.28 to 189.57. Meanwhile, her key international rivals, Hannah Bat and Mayuko Oka, were not competing in China, as were Elena Kostoleva and Victoria Streltsova, who possess Ultra-C elements and are currently on reserve. In terms of extreme difficulty, Kostoleva and Streltsova significantly surpass most of their competitors, but this technical advantage has yet to be proven in front of the international judges. Russian figure skater Sofia Zepka will replace Elena Kostoleva at the Junior Grand Prix in Bangkok, which will take place from September 3rd to 5th. Sofia has been named the main athlete on the Russian team roster on the ISU website, while Elena has been relegated to the reserve. In pair skating, Russia's dominance appears most well-founded and solid. All 3 medalists from the last Junior World Championships have moved up to the senior category, completely clearing the top of the standings. The Chinese duo of Chen Yuxuan and Dong Yingbua, who finished fourth at the World Championships with 157.99 points, scored 157.52 points on home ice in Xi'an. The winners, Polina Shesheleva and Igor Karnikov, beat them by more than 34 points, recording a score of 191.84. Shesheleva and Karnikov's score significantly exceeded the benchmark of last year's world champions, Kemp and Elizarova, 167.90. Even with the strong Chinese pair Guo Rui and Zhang Yuan, who master the quadruple twist, missing the stage, the depth of the Russian pairs creates an insurmountable difficulty barrier for foreign pairs. The ice dance tournament draw in Xi'an turned out to be the thinnest. The recognized world leaders, Americans Aboyan and Veselukin, and the French duo Perrier-Giannassini and Blank Clapperman, did not take to the Chinese ice. Italy's Bianchi and Basile, who finished second with a score of 154.25 points, only placed seventh at the last World Championships. Maria Fefilova and Artem Balev had a strong start and are clearly among the top three pairs in the world. Their score of 162.16 points is comparable to the world scores of the French, 164.88, and the Americans, 166.71. However, the specific nature of ice dancing precludes declaring the pair the absolute leader without a face-to-face meeting. The difficulty levels of their step sequences, twizzles, and component bonuses require direct verification by the judges. Their high international class has been confirmed, but the battle for the championship is still to come. Coach Alexei Gorshkov assessed the judging at the first stage of the Junior Grand Prix in Xi'an, where his students Maria Fefilova and Artem Balev won. Obviously, the sample size is small, but nevertheless, how has international dance changed in the 4+ years since we were suspended? It's hard to say, yet I need to travel a bit more and observe. But before the rhythm dance, I honestly thought the field would be weaker. But then I started watching and realized that everyone was skating well. We immediately identified the 4 most dangerous duets, and they were assigned right up until the very end. So the rhythm dance wasn't a finish the show and go to the hotel kind of thing for us. No, we sat in the arena and watched until the end, because it was unclear how everything would turn out. In the end, we were pleasantly surprised by the judging. I won't go into details, but if they wanted, the judges could have collaborated and presented a completely different result. But everything was completely objective. Given the results in Xi'an, have your expectations for the future become brighter? I mean the judging and the reception. Not just brighter, but much brighter. There was absolutely no negativity in either the communication or the scoring. And we're very happy that our team won gold medals in all 4 events. This is a huge boost for the future of figure skating as a whole. And judging by how our results were received internationally, the International Skating Union, ISU, also benefits from this. Perhaps they realize that interest in figure skating is waning, and we're helping to maintain it. So it's a win-win, Gorshkov said. The start in Xi'an brought a storm of pure emotion and a beautiful tale of total triumph, but the season is only just beginning to gain momentum. The Russian junior team clearly demonstrated that their great talent, character, and jumping audacity have not disappeared. In pair skating, the Russians continue to dictate their rules to the world by a huge margin. Both men and women have a tremendous reserve of strength, but ahead lie head-to-head duels with the victory-hungry Japanese, Koreans, and North Americans, where nerves of steel will decide everything. In ice dance, a subtle tactical battle will unfold for every judge's glance and tenth of a point. The great hunt for world gold has only just begun, and the most exciting is yet to come.